two.
Have you ever had a major event in your life really set you back? Where you stepped back and you said, man, I didn't sign up for this. Well, I got a couple of stories for you to think about. And life sometimes is about perspective, right? So one story is about a man that I know.
Hold
Yeah.
on. Sometimes,
Oh, all the time.
because if it's not all the time, you're not going to change anything in your life. If you keep running down the same paths and keep the same perspective, you're never going to get a different view. That's like sitting in the back of the car and always looking out the back window when we were kids. You know, you rode in the back and that's all you ever saw is what was behind you. You never got to see what was in front of you. So if you don't change that perspective and you're always looking out the rear view mirror, are you ever going to see what's coming at you in life?
That's a great analogy right there too.
I'm
Right?
just saying, don't knock perspective down, because I think perspective is one of the biggest keys to living a happy, godly life.
No doubt about it. And if I could just give you some perspective out there, a couple stories I'd like to tell. So, a man that I know, 30 years old, was diagnosed with cancer 3 years ago. It was a liver cancer. Typically, that was treatable, and most people survived. Well, this individual went for chemo treatments for 3 years and went in on his birthday in April. His name was Mitch, and of 2025. And ended up staying in the hospital through November of last year. He was diagnosed with this cancer, had several chemo treatments, several surgeries. Actually, the doctors messed up his surgery, and actually when he saw the doctor, he found out what had happened. You know what he said to the doctor? I forgive you for what you did. It's okay. And here's the thing. A man diagnosed with cancer, here's what he said to his father. Dad, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I mean, he accepted it. So that's one story. Second story I'd like to tell you is about a man I just met here recently. He was a firefighter, and he was in a fire. He threw a baby out the window, saved the baby, dropped 2 floors, was in a coma. He woke up. He found out that his wife had divorced him, and the very same day that he had saved this child, 3 of his kids, only 3 kids, were killed in a car accident. And he woke up to that after being in a coma for 2 months. Obviously couldn't be a firefighter anymore because of the injuries that he had, but really in essence lost everything.
Yeah, that's pretty much everything.
Right.
You're in a coma. Your kids die. Your wife leaves you, and you wake up to that.
Yeah.
You want
No
to talk
doubt.
about a hard way to keep faith?
No doubt about it.
How do you keep faith in a scenario like that? Like, that's the thing that I think myself and a lot of you are wondering is, how do you keep your faith in a situation like that? Like, where do you turn to go, hey, everything that I love was just taken from me while I was in a coma. There's nothing I could do. I'm there. I'm stuck. And now you come back to that?
And here's the thing about this individual. His name's Robert, by the way. He said to me, he's like, I was never mad at God. He was never mad at God. He accepted exactly where he was and what had happened to him, which I thought was pretty amazing.
I don't think I could accept that right away.
Well, that was years ago.
And I don't think I could go without being mad at God. I'm not going to lie.
That's fair.
I'm saying the old version of myself, before I changed my perspective, my views, and everything. I don't think in that scenario back then, that's exactly, I think, what created my divide from God.
Well, let me just take a step back into your comment. I want to expand on that. Do you think it's okay to be mad at God?
Why not?
I would totally agree with that.
Why are you ever mad at your parents for something that they've done? That's all God is. He's our Father. He's someone who's looking over us. He's going to do things that we don't always like, but he does it in our best interest. And that's kind of hard to wrap your head around in scenarios like that.
Well, and if you're mad at God, you know what it says? It says you have a relationship with him. It doesn't say anywhere in the Bible that you shouldn't be mad at God. You know, if you're going through something in your life, at least you're having a quote-unquote dialogue with him, right?
If you're mad at God, you at least have a relationship to be mad at. And that's always a positive.
And again, and Jesus on the cross, we talked about this before. He yelled out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Could there have been a little anger in that moment, right?
I would hope there was. You're nailed to a cross.
Right.
You're dying a horrible death after being lashed, whipped, beaten, whatever. And I got to believe there's a little bit of anger behind that.
So maybe part of the healing process, I'm just going to say it, maybe part of the healing
going
process
with this now.
is actually being mad and getting it out and having that conversation with him to help you kind of get through what you're going through.
I see where you went with that now. I was wondering the direction you were taking
I
on.
wasn't planning on taking it there.
No,
You
no, no,
took
no,
it
no,
there.
no. I
No.
know. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, I get where you were, but this really resonates with me because this was me. I was angry. I walked away from God because I lost my great grandfather to cancer. I lost friends to cancer. People I loved near and dear, and some of those people were very godly individuals. And in my eyes, if there was a God, why would he make one of his disciples, one of his literal warriors, die such a horrible death? And to watch a man go from this vibrant man to someone who could barely move, and he was in God's word every day. I can remember reading the Bible with him on my parents' hide a couch when my great grandpa would come home from Florida. And it's like, how does that man who worships the ground this man walks on, and it's literally just like Jesus. That's what he did to his own son. Why wouldn't he do it to others?
Well, and again, I don't think God does anything to it. Oh, I think he does discipline us at times. I do
Yep.
think that's true. But I do think sometimes he does let things happen, and we have to accept it. So what are you going through right now? Maybe drop a comment. Have you ever had a really difficult situation where you said to yourself, man, I didn't sign up for this, but yet you're still trying to get through it? We'd like to know, and maybe share some comments about kind of what you have gone through or going through right now, just to hear a little bit more about it, because this is a journey together, right? We want to know, maybe just getting it out, and I'll just say out there for others to see will help somebody else in your struggle right now, right?
Well, and that's something we've always talked about. The reason we started this and the reason we came out with this is to get our stories out there in hopes that we would help others. We're hoping that some of you are willing to share your stories to help others too. If we don't talk, if we don't create a dialogue, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And I don't even mean just between us. I mean amongst yourselves, amongst your friends, amongst your peer groups, whatever it may be. Creating dialogue is the whole point of why we started this channel, was to create dialogue, to get people to start thinking and start asking the questions that they're unsure on. We're not saying we have all the answers or your friends do, but maybe someone you know does, or maybe there is something we can help with. That's what we wanted to do this for, was to
Yeah.
create a dialogue, get people to start interacting and talking more about it, keeping it more open and honest.
Yeah, and I want to come back to my your comment about your story and how it could help others. And thanks for saying that. Coming back to Mitch, the individual had cancer and accepted it, right? So in talking to his parents, he was in the hospital for, again, months at a time, 9 months or more in the last, unfortunately, stint he had going through chemo, surgeries, whatnot. And, you know, hearing how his parents talked about the situation, they said that he changed the entire hospital. People were saying that he changed the entire hospital with the attitude, and I actually had the opportunity to talk to his parents about it, and actually talk in front of a group of people about what this young man did. And I passed out wristbands that said, "Your story can change a life." And he knew that his story could possibly change somebody's life. Most importantly, to have possibly somebody accept Christ. And the thing I'd say too is he not only changed the hospital, in my opinion, he probably changed an entire community with what he did.
Well, and that's highly possible. We don't know the ripple effect we have when we step outside ourselves.
That's right.
And that's the thing. It can be this small ripple, it can be a pea stone, or it can be a car dropped into the water. You know, think of the ripple effect, of the size of what you do does determine the outcome too. I mean, if you do a small little ripple, you're only going to affect a small amount of people. But if you make a big splash, guess what? That's going to continue out.
No doubt about it. And I think kind of what you've said here is like you've done it too. Your story, no matter what you've been through, can change a life.
I don't care how big or small. It doesn't matter. There's something that could have happened in your life that might strike a chord with someone else. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what bit of information they might just need to hear. It could be something as simple as hey, I'm here for you. Or, hey, would you like to talk? Or, do you need me? Or, it's nothing. Just being there, being present, sometimes is a huge change for people.
Yeah. So again, think about those two stories and maybe your story. If you're saying right now to yourself, man, I didn't sign up for it. I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up for it. Maybe the flip of the other side of this is, you know what? There's a reason I'm going through this right now, and right now I can't see it. And you are going to use that story to help somebody else and possibly save somebody's life. Right? So this has been Finding Hope in a Suffering Society. I'm Rob.
I'm Josh.
And we're here to help you find the beauty
In the darkness.
And if you found that light,
please go show your glow to the rest of the world.
We'll check you out in the next video.
See you guys.
How long was that one?
I don't know. Why did my watch not
I
show?
bet you it was 11 minutes.